Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the new treasure map legend, Usopp, the memories of the Straw Hat, and how he rocks in some regular play. Talk about the character, talk about his positives and obviously his negatives. Now, this character doesn't seem overly desirable for a lot of people, and understandably so. Obviously, we're going to be getting a lot of representation for these Straw Hat characters, and we haven't had a legend Usopp in a very long time, actually. Thinking back, I think the last Legend Usopp we had was Nami and Usopp, unless you classify Straw Hat Crew V2 as an Usopp, which technically is, but really isn't sort of a standalone Usopp. So it's been a hot minute since we had an Usopp Legend, and this guy, look, he's not the greatest Legend in the game. But at the same time, he does bring some very interesting mechanics to the table. One we've only seen in one other character, so that does make him a little bit more desirable. And obviously Dex is just getting more support, and Free Spirit's getting way more support too. But he is a Free Spirit shooter Dex unit that has a super class for the shooter tag. Shooter definitely needs a lot more love. Obviously they got a bit of love with the 6+ Lucci, but shooters, they still have a long way to go with the support that they need. His captain ability is a shooter, free spirit, and dex booster. 5.5 times if you have a matching orb, 1.3 HP, and makes tandem orbs matching, as well as boosting the chance of landing on tandem orbs. If you use an attack boosting or orb boosting special, he adds 0.2 to the boost, which is stackable with other raising effects. So, the first piece of content we're taking him into as a captain in today's video is against Heavenly Demon 2. And I've partnered him up with Nami, and I put together a very Straw Hat-esque team. I have every Straw Hat on this team except for Robin and Jinbei. I just couldn't fit him on. Obviously, we have 6 spots, and the fact I got 8 of them on the team, thought that was pretty fun. But the big upside to Usopp's captain ability is that he buffs Free Spirit. Free Spirit is still the best, if arguably the best, I guess, probably the better way to say it. Arguably the best class in the game right now, and any character that is buffing Free Spirit is already in a really, really good position. However, there's a lot of competition for very good Free Spirit captains. Obviously, we have a plethora of Luffys that are Free Spirit. We have Nami, Robin, this new Usopp, with Zoro Sanji. Like, you have a lot of very, very good Free Spirit units. Obviously, we have the new Ace that came out for the anniversary as well. You have Yamato Ace, versus Yamato. Like, there's a lot of Free Spirit boosters, but Usopp has a very interesting mechanic where he can increase the chance of landing on tandem orbs. Just like Nami, you can increase this chance, and it works really, really well for super tandem characters. So, hybriding the two of them together just means you get tandem orbs pretty much every single turn. It works really nicely, but as a captain, Usopp can actually give a 0.2 buff to your attack and your orb boost as well. So, what that means is if you use a special, it does state you have to use a special, to boost attack and or orbs, you're going to add 0.2. So if you do a 2 times attack boost, it becomes a 2.2 times attack boost. But then you can actually increase this to, say, if you add 0.5, it becomes 2.7. The 0.2 doesn't automatically increase it. It's just built in to the base of the attack and orb boost. So, very interesting stuff there. Obviously, a 5.5 times captain compared to the 6.5 times captains we have nowadays probably isn't going to be the character that you are choosing as your captain. However, as a sailor, he does some pretty interesting stuff. Before we get into his actual special, though, as a captain, if you bring 2 of the following characters, being any of the Straw Hats, Usopp, Brogy, Carrot, Onion, Pepper, Kaya, Hercules. I don't think Dory's there. I'm just looking at it now, and I think Brogy's there, but Dory isn't. Kind of weird. I feel like Dory's meant to be there, but look, we move. But as long as you got 2 of these characters, the Straw Hats are the ones that are going to pop up most of the time. Maybe Usopp, if we get some more Usopp representation. But they're the ones you're going to bring most of the time. As long as you have 2 of them, you can reduce characters' special charge by 10 turns, delays all enemies by 1 turn, ignoring delay immunity and status effects, and then boost Dex, Shooter, and Free Spirit characters' orb effects by 2.5 for 2 turns, making shooters into super shooters. Now, a downside to Usopp's captain ability is this super class, being an orb boost, doesn't get the extra 0.2 added to it, from what I believe. It does state specials, and unfortunately, super special doesn't fall under that criteria. Correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong there. I probably should have checked it when I used it on this particular run, but correct me in the comment section if I am wrong on that. But it doesn't really turn this into a 2.7 times boost. If it does, awesome, that's great. but unfortunately it doesn't. The delay is awesome because obviously it's an Usopp, he has to have delay in there somewhere, and then reducing his own special charge by 10 turns is really, really nice too. What you kind of want from this 10-turn special rewind is an ability that is going to allow you to get some sort of pseudo double special activation. However, with Limit Break expansion, he only goes down to 13 turns of cooldown, so you still have to make up 3 turns of cooldown somewhere, but he kind of does help out a little bit there with his special. With his special, he's going to delay all enemies, which will ignore delay immunity and status effects, just like his superclass, reduce threshold by 7 turns, and if the captain is Dex or Shooter, applies the set target status for 2 turns, which will allow Dex, Shooters, and Free Spirit characters to deal 2 times more damage to units that have the set target effect, and then will reduce their special by 2 turns if they defeat that character with a normal attack or specials or switch effects that may cause damage at the end of the turn. Anything like that is going to give them 2 turns of cooldown as long as they kill an enemy with that set target status. It also allows orb effect boosts to be further increased 2 times. And if you've used Becoming a Brave Warrior of the Sea, which is his special, he increases attack and orb boost by 0.5. So the way this kind of works is in the sense is that they want you to use the special ability, but then to override the orb boost, and then use his superclass to get 10 turns of cooldown, and then somehow make up the extra 3 if you have him Limit Break expanded, so then you can increase the attack and orb boost by 0.5. Now remember, if you use the superclass first, before the special, you're not going to get the 10 turns of cooldown. However, if you use the special before the superclass, you're not going to double stack the orb buff. So it's a pretty interesting and wonky mechanic. It's like, well, hey, if you have an orb boost already, we're allowing you to double stack it. If you don't have an orb boost, he just gives you an orb boost. It's all fine and dandy. I wish the orb effect boost was probably in his special, like the first part of his special, and the overriding part was still there. That way you could at least get everything synergizing with this unit, but the big draw, I think, is with that set target ability. Alright, so now we've taken the Straw Hats into Heavenly Demon 2. We've taken down that particular piece of content. Let's move on to some harder stuff. Going against Captain Kuro, level 5, Grand Voyage over at Syrup Village. And we haven't had an Usopp to get this done in a very, very long time. Obviously, you need a Dex Shooter Usopp. Very, very common. You're going to have a Shooter Usopp, but a Dex one doesn't come around that often. I think the last one we had was a Kazuna Rare Recruit. But now we have a new legend, and we can actually take him in. This particular team, it's so ridiculously overpowered. So, like, if you can build this, and you're struggling with this content, like, go for gold. But this is a showcase, remember, so there are some easier to build and better teams out there too. But the fun side to this particular team is we are using the new Anniversary Ace on our team. We have abilities of his EX and his Rush because we have a Yamato and we have a Sabo, but we also have a Frankie and a Brook, which will trigger Usopp. So we have a lot going on in this team. It works very, very nicely, and the damage is disgusting. It's, you guys will see at the end. I don't even hit perfects. I miss pretty much all my final taps, and we still absolutely clap it. But as I was saying with Usopp's special, I feel like most of the time you're going to try and find a way to bring him on a team because of the set target ability. Set target is kind of a new buff that Cross Guild introduced that allows you to get a just free flat rate 2 times attack boost as long as you're utilizing Dex, Shooter, and Free Spirit characters. Now, if you're using subs like Zoro Sanji and you're making everyone into a Free Spirit character, this is going to work great. But the thing with Zoro Sanji is he makes everyone slashes, so I guess Usopp is kind of the quick variation for Zoro Sanji. Sorry, the Dex variation for Zoro Sanji for the set target, where Cross Guild is still the, the quick variation for them. So, it's nice we now have slashes and Free Spirits covered. And on big damage teams, I can definitely see this being used. However, utilizing the character for his set target ability to get the rollbacks like Cross Guild's doing, I just really can't see the character working in that particular way. He has a great Limit Break Sailor ability that gets around special charge by 10 turns, but he doesn't give special charge with his special or anything like that. He does give the set target, which you could call a pseudo 2 turns, but remember, you kind of have to find a way to kill the enemies with that. But if you do need to get around threshold or anything like that, and you just delay for 1 turn using the delay part of his passive, or part of his special, that's going to actually work quite nicely, and then you can use the set target to get cooldowns there. It's really the only other way that I can kind of see it being used, but look, much of a muchness really in that regard. He does have a final tap too, something that I haven't actually spoken about too much. His final tap on the final stage is going to reduce... what does it do? It does a 2.25 times conditional boost to delayed enemies, and then gives you a 1,500 base attack boost that stacks at level 5. I don't know a world where anyone will have this guy at level 5. I really just can't see it happening. Maybe down the line, but 2.25, kind of a low conditional boost, especially when Dex shooters have like Ace Yamato and the new Yamato doing like 2.75s and whatnot. And the fact that it's only 2.25 with the final tap means that he's the only one getting that. Now, we did see that with Law, and Law really never took off. Now, Law's final tap is actually a little bit more usable because we have so many buffs in the game. Having that conditional boost with a super tandem that can lower defense works great. But remember, this is a final tap that works great with Usopp. In saying that, though, I don't think Usopp needs to have, like, a delay in his special, a delay in his superclass, and then have this as part of his final tap. To me, it just doesn't make that much sense. Like, have the character synergize with himself just a little bit more. Allow him to get the special charge with his superclass after using his special, increase his own orb boost, and give you a conditional to delay. I feel like that would have made the character way, way better. But look, this is the Usopp we have, and this is the Usopp we have to rock with. As you guys will see here, we just monstered our way to the final stage at Kuro. Like, we don't even have super swaps ready. We don't even have a color affinity boost on this final stage. We do, however, have the Usopp ability to overstack that orb buff, which we actually don't use. As you can see here, I just hit a bunch of misses. Like, it's just a whole bunch of misses, except for those last 3 hits and then into the final tap. But we had just so much damage that it really didn't even matter. But let me know your thoughts and opinions of this Usopp down below in the comment section. While you're down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Let's